If I could sit down with my younger self and talk to her about the things she was doing, because she was doing some questionable things like not eating breakfast, skipping meals, eating 1,200 calories, overtraining, doing cardio to burn the food she ate last night, I would tell her so much, because I am someone who struggled with her relationship with food for years. I have done all the extremes. I have been through bodybuilding competitions. I had an eating disorder. I lost my period, regained it, lost it again. So I had a heck of a fitness journey, and it wasn't linear and it didn't start the right way. And I really want to make an episode on this, because I feel like so many people get put off their fitness journey because they are too worried about getting started, because they see these extremes. They feel like it's supposed to be something that they hate, that it's supposed to be really hard, that they're supposed to not eat anything and just count calories for the rest of their lives. But this is not the case, and I wish more women knew what I'm about to tell you. So if you feel overwhelmed by nutrition, overwhelmed by what to do in the gym, stuck in that all or nothing mentality, knowing where to even start, then this episode is literally for you. Because in this episode, I'm going to unpack all the things I wish I knew when I first started my fitness journey, and the things that I wouldn't do now, because the things I did were very questionable. I was stuck in not knowing what to do for years, so I followed every single piece of advice I found online. Do keto diet. I went ahead and I did it. Count 1,200 calories. I went ahead and I did it. Actually, 1,200 calories is too much for a woman, when it's not. It's actually the amount of calories a toddler needs. I would literally do everything I saw on the internet and be like, why is this not working for me? But I never saw how to approach fitness and a healthy lifestyle in a balanced way, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Because I feel like with influencers and everything, you always see them always training, never having a rest day, posting only healthy meals, and then you compare your meals and you're like, oh my God, I'm not as perfect as they are, so I cannot go on this fitness journey. But a fitness journey is not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be fit in your lifestyle. So let's unpack all of this together. Also, welcome back to the Confessions About My Body podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Gwen Fit. I have taken a little break of doing a podcast because I have been sick for the last 2 weeks. So I am sorry about the delay in the episodes. I'm actually in Lombok right now, and I took you guys with me here, and we're going to be talking today about a beginner's guide to eating healthy, eating more nutritious, finding that balanced lifestyle, finding the perfect workout routine for you. So let's get straight into it. And if you like this episode, make sure you share it because it helps me, and make sure you rate it on Spotify podcast. And if you're watching it on YouTube, just share it with your friends, comment, like, subscribe. Let's get straight into it. We are going to be starting with the healthiest relationship you can have, and that is with food. I cannot explain how much your relationship with food impacts your energy, your mood, the way you show up for yourself every single day. Your relationship with food is one of the most important relationships you have, and I feel like it is not emphasized enough in social media. And it's always like, oh, eat as little as possible, cut out all these foods and do this and do that. But your relationship with food is the most important relationship you'll ever have. And when you first start your fitness journey, you demonize food and you see food as something that's bad for you, something that's causing you all this weight gain. But it's not the fact that the food is causing the weight gain. It's a couple things. Maybe lack of movement, maybe also lack of nutritional advice, because we're never taught about nutrition in the right way. And if you see food as the enemy, it will not help you lose weight. It will only create an unhealthy relationship with food, and you'll go down the roller coaster of binging, being scared of food, or feeling overwhelmed. So I really want to unpack the relationship with food side of things. I used to believe that I needed to earn my food in order to be able to eat for the day. So the cleaner I ate, the better I was for the day. And that mindset is what led me to feeling guilt, binge eating, and also really struggling with my relationship with food. So this is what I wish I knew when I first started my fitness journey, and that is that food isn't the enemy. It's supposed to be nourishment and joy, and restriction is what keeps you in that binge and restrict cycle constantly. So my relationship with food changed when I stopped counting calories, when I stopped following a specific diet, and I actually focused on whole nutritious foods and how they made me feel. Because sometimes when you count calories, you don't even eat things for the sake of that they're good for you. You're eating things because they're low in calories. So you're eating stuff that have a lot of sweeteners, a lot of fake artificials in it, because they're low in calories. So when you start to take away from that and actually eat food for nourishment and eat food for the sake of the fact that it's full of vitamins, it's giving you energy for your workout, you will see food differently. So my first thing to you would be let go of any food rules you have. Let go of counting calories and actually eat foods for nourishment and enjoyment. Focus on how food actually makes you feel, not that it's just clean or it's low calories. Actually focus on how it makes you feel. Do you feel bloated? Do you feel energized? Do you feel really tired after you eat? Like, how do you actually feel after you eat? Get really in tune with how you feel when you eat a certain food, because that will show you the foods you need in your life and the foods that you might not need as much, because your energy is literally the base of what you eat every day. Add, don't subtract. Don't ever think of going into a nutrition plan with taking away foods. It's thinking of how you can make every meal more nutritious. So let's say, I always say this to my clients, if you want to have a croissant for breakfast, go ahead, enjoy that croissant. But how can you make that meal more healthy? Maybe it's adding some Greek yogurt, or maybe adding some eggs on the side. You're pairing something that's a bit more processed with a whole food in order to help elevate the meal. So think of adding versus subtracting. So it's not about restricting yourself, it's about adding things to your life that will make you overall feel healthier and better. Practice neutral language around food. There is no such thing as good and bad foods. Yes, there are more processed foods and there are less processed foods, but there is no point in making food the enemy. And the way you're making food the enemy is the way you talk about it. Your words have so much power within food and within your life. Like, whatever you believe, whatever you say is what you believe. If you believe that that food is bad for you and eating a cookie is going to ruin your progress, you're going to believe that. And as soon as you eat that cookie, you're going to binge eat, you're going to turn into eating 10 cookies every day and let go of your fitness journey because you feel like you've done something bad. But if you didn't think that, that would have never happened. You'd just eaten that cookie and moved on. Start focusing on building healthy, balanced meals rather than doing restrictive diets. So I always teach my clients how to use the balanced plate method, and that is balancing your protein, carbs, and fats. Every meal is supposed to contain of your protein, carbs, fats, and fruits and veggies. So I always say to them, like, look at your food and be like, okay, do I have my protein? Yes, I do. Do I have my carbs? Yes, I do. Do I have veggies? Do I have fruit? Yes, I do. So trying to focus on these things rather than being like, okay, I cannot eat pasta, I cannot eat sweet potato, I cannot eat this, I cannot eat that. I'm just going to restrict and not eat anything. So really, really trying to find that balance with food is going to be key, especially on your fitness journey, because food is generally one of the biggest impacts on your life. And I feel like we demonize food so much in this day, and I wish less people did that. Second most important thing is strength training and moving your body in a way that supports you. Not necessarily just strength training, but when it comes to a fitness journey, the two main key things are your nutrition and your training. It is genuinely so healthy to move your body and move it in a way that you enjoy. If you're literally hating working out and you hate the way you feel after you train with weights, don't do it. There's generally no point in doing it. Find a movement that supports you. Maybe that's yoga, maybe that's just walking, maybe that's running, maybe it's Pilates. Whatever it is, you need to find a movement that you enjoy and you can add to your life, because movement is key. And sometimes you don't enjoy working out. I'm not going to lie. When I first started training, I was a former lazy girl. Like, I hated working out. Even though my family were like, you're going to go gym. How is that going to happen, Jess? Like, you barely move. I literally was that type of girl that would sit at home and not move. Like, if you told me to walk to the shop, I'd be like, I'm not walking there. I'm taking the car or whatever. I'm taking the bus, like whatever it was. If it contained movement, I would not do it. And all my friends, when I first started bodybuilding and started getting into the gym, they were like, that's not going to be sustainable. You're not going to be able to maintain it. And that is because at first, like the first 4 to 8 weeks are always the hardest when you start training, because your body's not used to it. You're always going to feel like, oh my God, like I hate this. If you give it a real go, you will notice the benefits of it. When I said to myself, Jess, you're literally going to be training for 8 weeks, no matter what, that's when I started noticing that strength training is actually good and I feel amazing, because I gave myself that ultimatum and I pushed myself through those low motivation, because at first you don't know how to work out properly. You don't know how to do things. You don't know how to actually like find enjoyment in it, because you've never done it before and it used to be a chore for me. So you have to give yourself time to kind of get over that in order to see the results and to actually see how exercise makes you feel. I also wasted so much of my time doing cardio because I thought that that's what I needed for weight loss. But if you want to lose weight, you can lose weight within whatever weight. You do not need to be running a marathon or running 10 kilometers a day to be losing weight or just do cardio. You can lose weight by just doing weights. You can just lose weight by doing Pilates. You can lose weight by doing all these things. It depends on your goal. And if you're someone that believes that weight training makes you bulky and that's why you're not starting it, I promise you it doesn't. I've been training for like 5-6 years now, and it's so hard to become bulky. Like, it's so hard to build muscle, and I feel like so many women think that you're going to gain muscle like this. I I genuinely wish it was like that, but it doesn't happen that way. And if you're someone that's also scared, this is my advice to you, is just do it. Like everyone that's starting anything new, whatever it is, you're always going to feel scared, and that is completely normal, and it's something that every single person goes through. So do it scared. The more you're going to face your fears, the more you're going to be able to actually pursue this fitness journey, because the fitness journey is not easy. A fitness journey is not just going to come to you. It's not going to be like, this is what you do and this is how easy it is. You're going to challenge yourself, and you're embodying a new person. And so like literally let yourself immerse into that person you want to be. And these are just some things that I wish I knew. And that is, number one, weight training doesn't make you bulky. Number two, if you want to get toned, you need to train with weights, because getting toned basically means you building muscle and having less body fat. That's literally what being toned means. And I wish I knew that, because I believe that being toned just meant that I had to dumbbell curl 2 kilos every day, just like doing it like this, and then I won't be bulky. And these are some tips I would say when it comes to starting your fitness journey within the gym. Start training 2 to 3 times a week. You don't need more than that. Sometimes because we're following that gym bro mentality, we think we need to be training 5 to 6 days a week. But if you start with 2 to 3 days, you're going to do well. And start with something that fits into your program, rather than going to the extreme and training 6 days a week when you don't even do one right now. Learn foundation movements, especially if you want to start with strength training. Learn your squats, your deadlifts, push-ups, lunges. These are foundational movements that will literally carry you through your life. Also, don't program hop. What I did at the beginning was I was doing a new workout every week. I was doing squats this week, then next week I was doing lunges, then the next week after I was doing deadlifts. But you have to find a program you can stick to and stick with it for 12 weeks and try and progress with it each week. Either if that is getting better at doing the movement, or squatting a bit lower, or doing heavier weights, or doing more reps. When you stick with the program, you'll be able to actually see results, because you're doing something week in and week out that you can progress with. And a lot of the girls I see always program hop, and it's generally so not good. So please don't program hop. Find a program you can stick to and stick to that, because that's where you're going to see real growth. The tip would be to track your progress through consistency and strength, rather than a number on the scale or how much your body has changed, because sometimes we get so disheartened when we look at the scales, and it makes us stop our fitness journeys altogether, because we're like, I have not made any progress, so what's the point in this? But if you're expecting progress overnight, it doesn't happen. I would definitely say you'll probably notice progress after 12 weeks. So give yourself that time, focus on your strength, focus on being consistent, and focus on building healthier routine overall, and track your progress that way. Also take progress pictures and track your progress pictures, because sometimes the weight can be a lie and the scales don't give you justice. And the goal isn't to burn calories or to burn as many calories as you can. Your goal is to build a healthy and a happy body. What started for me as a fitness journey was the fact that I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to be my smaller self. But later down the line, I realized that my body is so much more than that. And I'm doing this to feel strong, to feel healthy, to feel powerful, not to burn X amount of calories. So please, please, please walk into your fitness journey thinking, how can I show up as my most powerful and strongest self? Especially as a woman, I feel like we're never taught enough to be strong, and we're always taught to be the smallest, most fragile, most vulnerable place. But literally, you can step into being your most strongest and healthiest self. Also, I do offer coaching. So if you're someone that would like to step into that version of her and become your healthiest, most powerful, strongest self, and you want someone there to cheer you on and to help you actually build a healthy, balanced lifestyle, then click the link in the show notes and you can inquire for my coaching, or you can DM me on Instagram coaching, and then we can have a chat about how I can help you. Moving on, so I really kind of structured this episode on the things that I wish I knew and all the stuff that I think are key when you start your fitness journey, and I feel like they're not talked about enough. It's always here's a workout plan, here's a meal plan, here's a diet, go follow this. But a lot of your fitness journey is mental, and it's a lot of mentality work you have to do. So my main big thing for you would be to ditch the all or nothing mentality. And yes, I'm talking about you, because I know you're probably someone that is struggling with feeling like if you're not doing it all, then there's no point in doing it, because that's what stops you from actually starting your fitness journey. And that's what stopped me as well. It was either all or nothing. When I first started, there was no balance. It was that all or nothing mentality. And it was either me being 100% healthy, eating chicken and rice, plain ass rice every single day, or it was me eating fries and pizza every day and free chocolate bars. So I really want you to ditch that all or nothing mentality, because that is generally what is determining how well your fitness journey is going. And this is one of the main reasons why most women fall off track, is that you completely go from being on your routine to completely off, because you have no middle ground. And whenever you have something that you deem as bad, or something that, or you skip a gym session, it completely makes you fall off. And if you're someone that struggles with that, then you probably resonate a lot with this. But progress doesn't happen from being perfect. Progress happens from showing up and doing what you can each day. So missing one workout, having a takeaway meal will literally not undo all your progress. And I always say to people, like, if let's say you're training 3 days a week for 4 weeks, if you miss 2 or 3 sessions out of these 12 sessions a month, that won't undo the progress you have made in doing 9 sessions, let's say. Or if you eat 20 meals a week that are healthy, but then you eat 3 that are more unhealthy and more processed, that's not going to outweigh the 20 meals you've just eaten that are full and nutritious. So always think of it that way, like a big scale, and think of it as like, okay, this won't undo that. So really think about that all or nothing mentality as a killer, and your mentality is literally the strongest thing that's going to help you either succeed in your fitness journey or not. So my tips to you would be to focus on average, not being perfect. Like, focus on doing something each day towards yourself. And even if that is eating 2 healthy meals and having 1 meal out, that is still showing up as yourself and doing the best you can, rather than trying to be perfect, trying to get 10,000 steps in, trying to do 2 workouts a day, eat chicken and rice for every single meal. If you're going to try and do that, that's not going to be sustainable, and it's not going to lead to long-term progress. Be flexible with your routine. Like, a 20-minute walk or a 20-minute yoga session is still better than nothing. So try and give yourself permission to be flexible. Like, okay, maybe you cannot commit to going to the gym for an hour and a half today. Instead of skipping the gym completely, it's like, maybe you can commit to doing a 20-minute workout at home, or maybe you can commit to doing a 20-minute walk out in nature. So really think about what you can do towards your future self. The gym is not a punishment. Food is not a reward. You do not need to be perfect in order to make progress. So please, please, please remember that. Another subject I wanted to touch on is building routines that fit you and your lifestyle, because I feel sometimes people try and build routines based on what they see on social media and on other influencers' pages. Like, for example, someone's 5 to 9 routine before their work day, or someone else's like perfect full day routine and how they get their session in. So it's building a routine that fits your lifestyle, because every single person has a different lifestyle. So you cannot have the same routine as an influencer that works from home every day or has her own freedom to do whatever she wants throughout the day. You cannot have the same routine as someone that does 9 to 5 if you work your own hours. So actually think about yourself and what your routine can look like to you. So what I wish I knew was that there is no such thing as perfect routine. And I would always try and create that perfect routine that fitted my lifestyle and made sure that I was on track and I was doing exactly the same as all the fitness influencers were. But there's no such thing as a healthy routine. So my tips when it comes to building your routine, especially at first, is number 1, choosing 2 to 3 non-negotiables you can do for the day. So whether that is just doing a walk, just doing your steps, just getting some sunlight in, whatever it is, choose 2 to 3 non-negotiables you want to start implementing every single day. Number 2 is make it easy to succeed. So if there's a new habit you're trying to build, for example, going to the gym early in the morning, maybe that means you need to lay out your clothes the night before, so that in the morning when you wake up, you see the gym clothes and you don't procrastinate. Or if you want to start listening to a podcast, maybe it's setting a reminder on your phone to listen to a podcast on your walk rather than music, because you need that kind of little nudge to help you, especially when you first try and build a new routine. It will be hard because your body is not used to it. So you'll go back to your old routine so quickly, and you'll completely forget about it. Like, if you're someone that's been trying to build a new routine, but you always forget about the fact that, oh my God, like I really want to drink more water, but I forget throughout the day. It's normal because you're not used to drinking 2 liters of water a day. So your body is going to forget. So set reminders on your phone, like drink water every 3 hours or so whatever, because when you set reminders, it gives you that little thought of like, shit, like I need to do this because I really want to build on this. And actually reflect on why you want to build these habits, because sometimes you do things just because you see on social media or you see your favorite influencer do it. But why do you actually want to drink 3 liters of water a day? Is it because you feel like your piss is yellow and you want to get that clearer? Or is it for your health? Or is it because you're getting migraines? Like, why is it that you actually want to build it? Not because you're following someone else that does the same thing. So really find meaning behind every routine you're trying to build and every habit you're trying to build, because it will give that habit more meaning and it will give you more power to actually do it. Also, reflection is one of the most powerful things. So reflect on your habits. Like, what habits do you do that are detrimental to your life, and what habits are you doing that are pretty good and you want to keep up, you know? Because I'm not gonna lie, scrolling on TikTok at night is not good for anyone, you know, but we still do it. So really reflect on why you're doing the things you're doing and why you want to change those things. Because if you wake up with anxiety, it's probably because you're literally scrolling on Instagram until 10 p.m. and then you're shutting your eyes and then you're going to sleep after you've just seen all people's perfect lives and content and feeding into toxic content. So really reflect on your habits and see why you want to do certain things and why you want to change certain things, and what habits are adding to your life and what habits are taken away from your life. Discipline isn't about building the perfect routine and having the perfect morning routine. It's about building habits that make you elevate your lifestyle. And then every time you fall off your lifestyle habits, you go back to them. I really want to touch on motivation because I feel like we all rely on it, especially when it comes to starting a fitness journey. And motivation comes and goes. It goes so fast and it comes so fast as well. So it's something that is fleeting and it's temporary. So if you rely on your motivation to do things, you're never going to get things done. Realistically, because I used to always rely on my motivation. One day I'll be so motivated, I'll get so much stuff done. The next day I'll be like, nope, I'm not motivated, I'm not moving out of bed, I'm not doing anything. So if you learn to rely on motivation to do things, you're never going to have a successful fitness journey, because motivation always changes and it's completely normal. That happens. Like, it's a human nature thing, but you need to learn to show up for yourself on the moment you're not motivated. So you really want to work with your identity. And I always think of myself in like this higher self person, let's say. I think of how she shows up on the day she's not motivated. Like, how do you actually show up for yourself when you don't feel like doing it? How would that person that gets it done show up? So really create this image in your head of someone that does the things you want to do and how they show up and what their mentality is like and how they go throughout the day. Because when you start to show up as that person, you will actually start to make so much progress, because you will now step into a new identity of yourself. And when you want to create a new fitness journey and you want to elevate your lifestyle, if you're someone that wants to elevate their lifestyle and create a new personality, you have to find that higher version of yourself that you want to step into. What does that person do when they're not motivated? What does that person do when they're tired? What does that person do when they don't feel like eating the meal they want to eat? What does that person do when they do eat a cookie? Do they just throw everything out the window and they think they're a failure? How do they talk to themselves? So you really want to find that person within yourself and step into them, because that will literally change the way your fitness journey will be. Motivation will always fade, but your identity is what will stick. So what do you do when you're not motivated? What happens within yourself? Like, what does your higher self do when you're not motivated? So really, really trying to step into that person and trying to build discipline rather than motivation, because motivation, like I said, will come and go. If you're on your period, your motivation will be gone, out the window. But what does that person that's on their period and is unmotivated will do, you know? So really trying to step into that person and trying to build discipline and see those days where you're not motivated as a game to build discipline. Because no one's ever motivated, but that's why there's a difference between people that are achieving their goals and people that don't. And that is when you rely on your motivation. So if you're someone that wants to actually achieve their goals, you have nothing different than I do. So all you need to do is getting over that motivation and building that discipline and showing up as the person that's disciplined. Because you can. I used to believe I couldn't. I used to genuinely believe that I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do because I wasn't capable enough, I wasn't strong enough, I wasn't disciplined enough like the other people. But you are literally the same. Like, there's generally no difference between you and the person you're comparing yourself to. Literally the only difference is in your mindset and how you show up and how they show up. So if you can start showing up as they are, then you will be able to achieve the same goals as they are. It's more about showing up than anything else. So that was the podcast episode, guys. I am happy to be back on this podcast. I genuinely missed talking, but I was so sick and I had no energy. And I feel like energy is everything. And when you reciprocate low energy, people will see that, especially on social media. So I really didn't want to come up like that. And I really wanted every episode to come from the heart and to come from a place of excitement, energy, you know, showing up as my full self. And I felt like it wasn't right to show up as my half self when I couldn't be asked to talk. My voice was hurting, my nose was blocked, you know, all the great things. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. I'm going to run you through the key takeaways so you can just make a quick note of them, and I hope you've learned something. So the key things I want you to take away from this podcast is, number one, there's no such things as crazy workouts, no crazy restrictions. Don't wait till you feel ready to start something. Find 2 to 3 things to stay consistent with each day, whether that is eating something, going to the gym, whatever it is. Find 2 to 3 non-negotiables to stay consistent with, and don't rely on motivation to do the things that you want to do, and start building your discipline instead. You just need to meet yourself where you're at, take the next step, and choose yourself all the time. And if you keep doing that repeatedly, you're literally going to achieve your goals. And if you're someone that wants to achieve their health and fitness goals, then just DM me coaching and we can have a chat about how I can help you elevate your lifestyle and get to where you want to be, because it's so much easier when you do it with someone that's there cheering you on, giving you a plan, helping you get there step by step. And if you like this video and this episode, then please share it with a friend that will find it beneficial. And thank you guys so much for listening. My Instagram handle and all my links are going to be in the description and in the bio. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. It really helps and I appreciate you.